Hello and welcome to this week's edition of the Weekly Wind-Up with me, Kyle Warwick. Today's topics are Locala failing to answer calls on time, hands off our HRI, the Kerrigans and finally a new school for Kirklees. Councillors have expressed concern about the cost of phone calls to Locala after the health provider admitted it was still failing to answer calls on time. This provides a large proportion of local NHS services, admitted it had only answered 40% of calls to its single point of contact within its target 90 seconds during the first full week of April. The provider, which won the £238 million Care Closer to Home contract last year, added that 90% of calls were answered within 10 minutes. But at a meeting of Kirklees Health Scrutiny Committee, Locala officials admitted that one caller was left hanging on the line for up to 28 minutes. The social enterprise was last month served with an official notice by Greater Huddersfield Clinical Commissioning Group for failing to answer calls within 90 seconds. Calls to Locala's single point of contact via an 0303 number are charged at the national rate. They cost 12p per minute from a landline, but calls from a mobile can cost between 3p and 45p per minute. It is feared that those with pay-as-you-go phones, often used by those who cannot afford contracts, will be hit hardest. Councillor Smage stated that patients who used Locala's services regularly and often had to call could be faced with substantial phone bills. Locala Interim Director of Operations Jackie Ramsey said the provider's call centre had struggled with sickness absence levels and resignations, but said Locala had put that right and aimed to answer 80% of calls within 90 seconds. She said, "We believe we have a really robust plan to get that right and we are being managed by the CCG to help us do that. We believe we have got an offering that is starting to bear fruit." Let's hope that that's the case. Campaigners have launched an online appeal to raise money for a legal challenge to stop the closure of Huddersfield's A&E. Hands Off HRI has launched an online crowdfunding appeal to raise £30,000 for a legal campaign to derail the Right Care, Right Time, Right Place plan. Campaigners hope flaws which make the proposal unlawful can be found to stop the plan. The crowdfunding appeal has had over 30 contributions since it went live on May the 2nd, and hashtag Hands Off HRI Secretary Natalie Ratcliffe said, "It's only been live for a day and a half and we've already got £300. If everyone in Huddersfield donated £1, we would reach our target in no time," Miss Ratcliffe said. "We set it up because it makes it easier for people to donate. Not everyone is mobile, not everyone has access to our events, so we felt that doing a crowdfunding appeal would make it more accessible. And if people are making bracelets or other merchandise for the appeal, they can donate the money they raise to it." You can find out more about the campaign and pledge donations by visiting the address you can see on screen now.
However large or small your business, attracting new customers requires dedication and a lot of patience. Just like fishing, but you also need the right gear. Rods, reels,
lines, hooks, sinkers, lures, tackle box, tackle bag, net, bait, gaff, gloves, clothes, pocket knife, lunch.
Or you could simply advertise with KLTV. Online, grow your business and your clientele. KLTV, your vision made reality. Should have gone to KLTV.
Now on to our next story. Just who were the Kerrigans? Joseph Kerrigan was a Jewish textile manufacturer born in Kaunas, Lithuania in 1915. He came to England in 1933 to study textiles at Leeds University, but travelled home to visit his family when Stalin invaded Lithuania in 1940 and was trapped there for the remainder of the war. The Soviets took possession of the family textile mill, and Kerrigan described his time under the Soviets as being like a commando training camp for life under the Germans. In 1941, when Hitler invaded, the game was up, and he was herded into the ghetto. He survived for 2 years, living on a combination of his wits and good fortune, and in 1943 he met and married Margaret Stromas. As the ghetto was about to be reclassified as a concentration camp, he built a hiding place for himself, Margaret and his mother in the attic of the foundry where he was a slave labourer. They survived the remainder of the war in hiding. Joseph and Margaret's daughter, artist Jenny Kerrigan, has created a special exhibition to bring the stories her parents told her about their fight for survival to life. Out of Darkness at Dean Clough, Halifax from May the 7th to July the 10th uses images, music projection and structures to tell her parents' stories. And finally, it has been dubbed Huddersfield's new super school, and on the 3rd of May around 1,100 pupils spent their first day at the new school, which is one of the biggest the town has ever seen. Oak CE Primary School has been created through the merger of Crossland Moor Juniors, Dryclough Infants and Thornton Lodge Nursery Schools, which have become one under new head teacher David Bendall. The new school, the largest primary in Huddersfield, has more than 180 staff for the pupils who are aged from 2 to 11 years old. It is based on the Dryclough Road and Hughes Hill Road sites, which were previously home to the schools which have merged. Mr Bendall said it is now one of the biggest primary schools in the country, and the first morning was great. It's a new start for the children and they were raring to go and very excited, he said. I am extremely proud to be leading the new school. It is a fabulous opportunity to bring together the 3 schools served by a single leadership team and governing body. That's all for today. If you would like to comment on any of the stories you've heard today, you can get in contact with the Weekly Windup by Twitter using the handle @theweeklywindup. You can find us on Facebook by searching Kirklees Local TV, or you can email us on info@kirkleeslocaltv.com. Join us again on Monday when we'll be talking about school SATs. I'm Kyle Warwick. Thank you and goodbye.
Yeah.